Hello there everyone. Alright, we've got a Series 5 pack to unlock. Let's see what we get this time. Different way of starting a free-to-play video. Alright, what are we getting? Makari! Okay, that's interesting. 3/3 stat line, end of turn, runs from your hand to a random location if possible. So yeah, not the most fancy of cards, but it's actually in the Cerebro 3 deck that got to number 1 in Golden Gauntlet, I believe. So it is actually a very serviceable card. We get some tokens. Alright, nothing too crazy. But we already had the deck in mind for this video. Let's show it you. Okay, so we've got a Mr. Negative deck at last. I say at last because I've been wanting to do Negative for a number of weeks now, and part of the issue and part of the reason why I haven't actually done one until now is we have not had, and we still do not have, Ravonna Renslayer. Now, Ravonna is a very big part of Negative decks because it allows any card that is 1 power or less to be discounted by 1. So we look at Iron Man in this deck, that 5/0 would become a 4/0. And while that isn't normally the biggest thing in the sense of, oh yeah, okay, cool, you can play Iron Man on turn 4, it allows you to then do turn 6 Iron Man Mystique, for instance, or you could do turn 3 Mr. Negative, which is one of the big things we want. So not having Ravonna really removes some of the options that we would like. So I've been trying to think of a way that we can do this deck without Ravonna. This is about the best I've come up with. Now, I say the best I've come up with because I'm not entirely convinced this is great. I'm going to show you the stats that I've done in practice, shall we say. Yeah, we've got... Actually, let's go through the cards by one. We'll explain why they're here. So we've got Arnim Warlock, 2/0. End of turn, draw a card if you're winning here, otherwise +1 power. So Adam's just a decent stat... I say stat line, it isn't a decent stat line at all, but the effect is quite decent in terms of... Normally in these decks we would want Jane Foster as a 5/9 that draws zero cost cards. That is quite powerful in a Negative deck, but I feel like Adam's just probably the better card on curve because we want to draw Negative if we haven't got it. So I actually don't mind Adam in this deck. Also, if it is inverted by Negative, a 0/2 is quite nice. So on paper it feels okay. In practice it's probably a card that we don't always play, but it's a nice option to have if we need it. Then we've got Bruce Banner, 2/1 stat line with the text end of turn. If you have unspent energy, you have a 33% chance to Hulk out. And I'm surprised they don't actually define what Hulk out means, but the answer, he becomes the Hulk. So 6/14, pretty nice. As far as I know, if you do invert as a 1/2, even though it doesn't say it, I would have thought he'd gain 1 power. So the 6/14 Hulk would be a 6/15 Hulk, which is quite nice as well. It shows it hasn't happened for me yet. Then Psylocke, 2/2 stat line, on reveal, next turn you get +1 energy. We need this. I mean, Psylocke and Ravonna are usually paired in Negative decks, so the fact we haven't got Ravonna, we need Psylocke, because it's the only way we can ramp Mr. Negative out for turn 3. So it's a great snap condition if you've got those two in hand. Not always a guarantee of a win, but it's a good snap condition. And then we've got Ironheart, 3/0 stat line. On reveal, give 2 of your other cards +3 power. Now, if you have got it, Sage would be a better option here. I mean, to be honest, there are a lot of better options here in general, but Ironheart's probably a card that isn't commonly seen in Negative decks nowadays, but it has been used in the past, that's why I've included it here. But it's decent when you've got some ways of reprocking it, but other than that, it's really just to have some early tempo if you've whiffed on getting Negative out early, so 3/0 is okay. Then we've got Mystique, 3/1 stat line, on reveal, if the last card you played has an ongoing, copy its text if able. So if it's inverted or 1/3, that is still pretty nice. It's not easy to play out as it used to be when Mystique was a 3/0, but it's still quite nice pairing up with Iron Man or later on Knull. We've got Magik. One of the conditions of this deck is there's a good chance we're going to have to extend the game. So, yep, Magik is not essentially a must, but a most likely must, if that makes sense. You know, 95% of games you probably want to Magik. So, yeah, I'm going to say Magik is great. Then the star of the show, Mr. Negative, for -1 stat line. On reveal, swap the power and cost of all cards in your deck. Yeah, we want to have as many low power cards so that they are all low cost cards when inverted. Then we've got Wong, 4/2 stat line. Ongoing, your on reveal abilities here repeat. I really like Wong, it's right in my wheelhouse in terms of how I like to play the game. And having a 2/4 Wong is something that I really enjoy the prospect of. We've got Iron Man, 5/0 stat line. Ongoing, your total power has doubled here, so a 0/5 Iron Man, again, that's right up my wheelhouse, I enjoy it very much. We've got Black Panther, 5/5 stat line. On reveal, double this card's power. I really wish I could invert this a bit more. It used to be kind of better when Black Panther was a 5/4. I say kind of better because definitely 5/5 is better, but it used to benefit more from the inversion when it was a 5/4. So yeah, it's still okay. I mean, it doesn't benefit from negative, but it's a good backup option in case we don't draw negative. Then we've got Arnim Zola, 6/0 stat line. On reveal, destroy one of your other cards here to copy it at other locations. So we've done this before on these videos. Wong, Black Panther, Arnim Zola, you're going to get some points on the board with that. And last but hopefully not least, Knull, 6/0 ongoing text, as the combined power of all cards destroyed this game. Now, something this deck is missing, which I actually forgot, is Shang-Chi. Now, let me just show you something. When I was trying to come up with a negative deck, I started this after the last video, I did try this with Esme Cuckoo in there. We got Esme last time and I thought, alright, maybe I can try it now. It worked okay, but I wasn't sold on it. I feel like there's definitely something in this build though, because it's got a lot of the cool cards that we've just seen, but really the only alterations are Esme and Shang-Chi in there, and Jane as well. So just a few tweaks here and there, but I feel like Shang is definitely nice in negative decks, especially if you've got Knull. The Knull is only really going to be beneficial if we're destroying our Black Panther. So if not, you're losing another card in a way. So I could definitely see a benefit of putting Shang in the deck we're going to be running today, but because I've already tried this deck out we're running, and I've not tried this one as much, I think I played 2 or 3 games with it, we're going to stick with the one I've already been running, but I do want to give Shang a shout out because it's definitely worth consideration when you're building a negative deck. But yeah, this is the deck we're going to be running. Before we go into the games, I just want to clarify, let's just go here a second, and if I bring this up, these are the stats. Now, if I'm just focusing on Mr. Negative at the top left here, I've already played 10 games, 5 and 5. Negative cube rate, which isn't the biggest surprise in some ways with negative, because actually, let me reword that. The win rate's usually low. The cube rate is a bit of a surprise there, simply because you're usually gaining 8 cubes because people don't expect you to win, but you have to snap aggressively. And I think that's what happened with the cube rate there. I think I was snapping aggressively when I got the Psylocke Mr. Negative combo, but then I was coming into problems that I couldn't overcome. So again, maybe an argument that we could include Shang-Chi in this list, but I do want to stick with what we got for now. So 10 games, let's see how we get on. Okay, we're up against Ombre. Isn't that what Joey sort of was trying to push in Friends? Ombre for men?
Bijan for men?
Anyway, let's get turn 1. Crimson Cosmos, not my favourite location. We're going to play Adam Warlock simply because if I'm going to be playing Bruce, I'd rather do it on 2 when he can Hulk out. If we can play Hulk, Bruce Banner on 2, we will, but I'd rather it not be the default choice. Alright, that sucks. I guess we just skip them because I would rather not play into Vormir. Or if we do, I hope it's Mr. Negative. Oh, okay, well, thank you. I need a Magik, so... even though it means you've got the advantage in Limbo, temporarily. Yeah, I don't mind that. Okay, well, we got a turn 7 at the moment, so let's just play Bruce. Okay, they've got Wong out. Okay, Bruce did not Hulk out. We can now Wong. And also we're off curve, so each one's going to be giving us a chance to Hulk out. Crystal. We got negative late, so I'm going to be frank, we just don't play it. Yeah, I can't do that, which is annoying. Let's just go Iron Man. Okay, is this Toxic Surfer? Or just plain Surfer?
I am Iron Man.
Be very nice if Bruce could Hulk out, by the way. Yeah, gotta retreat. I respect them for the play they made, but that was a boomer snap and I'm not sticking around for that. I recognise that we're several parts into this series now, and it might be a bit late to actually be defining what I mean, but boomer snaps are whenever someone snaps on the final turn, knowing they've got the win condition. It's essentially saying, I win, I want more cubes. And yeah, you just cannot reward that. Or you should not reward it anyway. I've occasionally done that and I feel so bad afterwards, like, why did I stick? Okay, so we're playing High Evolutionary here. I'm going to say Shocker High Evo there. So, we're not tempoing out Mystique, that's just a bad idea. I would argue that was a bad idea of theirs, playing Cyclops without knowing where I was playing. We can do Wong. It isn't beyond the realms of possibility a deck like this would have Cosmo. That would be a shame. Alright, they're playing Surge. I'd be surprised if they got Cosmo in a Surge list. They can too easily conflict that with that. Well, you know what? Let's go for it. It's not a negative. It's not a negative play, this, but we can do a double effect here quite nicely. So let's try it. Okay, the hand's going to get hit a bit badly here, it's safe to say.
Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever.
Okay, that's an 80 power Black Panther. As long as they haven't got a Shang-Chi, we've got a good chance. If they got Shang-Chi, we're not stuffed because we've got Knull, but it will definitely be a whiff because I've used Arnim early. If I'd have got Magik, I'd have also been tempted to wait in that regard. Okay, we're fine. Yeah, we even got the double effect. Just a casual 320 power. Okay, again, it's a little bit boring, but let's just double the doubles and let's just hope that they haven't got Shang-Chi. Or a Shadow King. Just a couple of counter cards to be wary of.
I am Iron Man. I am Iron Man.
Yeah.
Power must be controlled.
Shang-Chi. You know what? I respect it. They got their answer in the deck. I can't complain. It's a bit of a shame because I lose 4 cubes, but this is where negative is a bit of an awkward archetype. And I say that, I haven't even drawn negative on time yet. Okay, no turn to play yet. We got Magik for turn 3. And Baku, I wonder what they're playing. For clarity, it's Cerebro 3. Okay, so Magik would be quite nice on Eternal's Art because I don't want to be locked out of a lane. Psylocke left is fair. A little bit confused. Now, I wouldn't associate Psylocke with a C3 deck. Let's just get rid of Eternals. If they play Cosmo there, that would be a bit of a sad thing. Alright, here come the Sentinels. Alright, I'm glad they used it there. Although Mount Vesuvius is a bit of an awkward one. Let's just play... I mean, we have got the Wong Black Panther line again. If I could pull negative... we could maybe get an inverted Iron Man, which would be nice. Not crazy about it, but it's something. There's the Cerebro. I'm confused about the Psylocke. Why would you have that in the deck, other than being able to play 2/2s on 4? I don't mind that. I feel like I'm throwing priority doing it like this. Okay, so they get bigger. The trouble with throwing priorities, if they've got Cosmo, which, because I can't retreat now, they've got every right to snap back at me. I could be in trouble. Could be Cosmo, it could be Shang-Chi. They've got a few ways of making me regret that snap. There's this. I'm not having a great time here. Yeah, I have not got no play lines here. And I can't retreat, so I'm stuck in for 8. That blows. That's not necessarily a nerf on my end, but again, I can't win the right, so... Oh, wow. Okay, it is a nerf on my end. I forgot that Hulk gets set to 3 as well. Okay. Yeah, not a fan of that, I'll be honest. Not a fan of Boomer snapping me on Mount Vesuvius, but AO, it's in the game. Okay, Emperor Zargon. Interesting name. Okay, skip turn 1 as always. Warlock would be preferable turn 1. Sorry, turn 2. It's like turn 1 in my head. But yeah, maybe we Ironheart after? Spider-Ham's another one of those cards I don't want in this situation. You know what's going to happen here. I don't even have to say it. Well, they didn't activate it. Alright, let's just play Bruce down right. Actually, no, why am I doing it right? Play it left. Alright, I've got no idea why they haven't activated that Spider-Ham, but I'm taking it. We've got Knull and Arnim that we could draw as zeros. It'd be a 2-3 Magik and a 1-3 Mystique. Although we don't need the Magik. Okay, Mystique is drawn. Let's play that for now. Actually, no. Let's play like that for now. I'm actually not going snap here. I know we got negative out, which is the first time, but I've lost a lot of cubes here already. I've dropped below rank 80, so I actually want to just try and climb a little bit. Alright, they hit the Iron Man. That's not ideal. I'm not 100% what deck they're running as well. That's also off-putting a little bit because I don't know how badly I should be thinking about retreating.
Are ye worthy? Wakanda forever!
Alright, Hulk doesn't catch up there, but it helps us. Oh, hang on, is that Chronosphere? Yeah. Alright, that's pretty neat. We could go 1, 2... 3, 4. It'd be heavily dependent on them trying to destroy something, but... I don't know. Let's see.
Are ye worthy? Are ye worthy?
They have a weird interaction, that. We might win if we can just get one buff mid. One buff mid. Thank you. Okay. That was more luck than judgment. I'll take it though. Alright. A win on the board. Okay, the game's given us a bot apparently because I've been sucking a bit, it seems. Yeah, so we got Psylocke, we got Ironman, we got Magik, Chimichanga, and Knull. I'm curious if it is a bot though. It seems likely with the highest rank. And I could definitely believe a bot playing a Chimichanga on tempo. Okay. Let's play Psylocke. Mysterio. I feel like I need to play some more Mysterio. The Deadlands. I don't want something hoarding up on my board, so we're just going to float a little bit of energy. Oh. Oh, now I feel like I'm wasting mine. I'm tempted to do Wong mid now.
Opponent snapped.
I don't want Snap back just yet because I'm not 100% convinced it's a bot. There's not a botty play in here per se except for the Chimichanga. I want to see what the next move is. If it's a bad one, I can always snap back. They float a turn and swap the Mysterios? Okay, there's no real benefit to negative. I've only got Black Panther, Ironheart, Mystique, and Warlock in deck, so... At this point, I'm thinking, let's just play Bruce Banner out. Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Alright, this does feel like they're just going hard in one location. Won't make sure I play this the efficient way, if you want to call it that. Let's go Knull. Well, that worked. And then we go 1, 2, 3. I mean, I don't really know what to say to that. Even with bots, that was a weird game. I got 4 cubes out of it, so I'm not complaining, but weird. Okay, we're up against Keza. Sounds like someone you find down the pub. Alright, Keza, how you doing? How's Shirley? But yeah, we've got no turn 2 yet, which is a bit of a bummer. Interesting choice to play Nova in Clintar. So, Magik turn 3. I'm happy to get rid of Asteroid M. I don't want my cards moving. Safe to say we're not on tempo at the moment. You know, it feels like even this next draw, okay, came out at the right time. Let's just play negative. We can get a 2/4 Wong, a 0/3 Ironheart, 1/2 Bruce Banner, and then Psylocke, Black Panther, the same as they would be. Okay, that's unusual. I don't really know what to make of this right now in terms of... It feels weird. Could be a silly snap that, because if this is a real player, they would retreat, but something's telling me there's that Carnage on Deathlock was weird. Like, I'm not entirely sure why you would do that unless you just try and build up a Knull. Wolverine Venom? Yeah, we just play Knull, and as it stands, Knull Zola. Okay, that's creative, I'll give them that. There's definitely a touch of risk here. They could have a Shang-Chi. Yep.
Power must be controlled.
Well, I called that. I didn't really have a way around. Oh, okay, I did have one way around it. I could have gone Mystique, but the thing is, it had been destroyed anyway, so I couldn't prevent the destruction. Yeah, I was just kind of screwed there. Okay, opening hand against a bot again. We got Onslaught Citadel as a location. I'm going to snap aggressively on this one because I don't want the bot to want to retreat. I won't try and force it into the game a bit. Let me just check the stats. Yeah, you wouldn't know it was a bot. Again, I'm purely going off the deck tracker. They're playing Lockjaw. I don't mind getting rid of Kunlun. Ooh. Okay, that was useful. Their next card's going to be Lockjawed. Okay, so we could pull Iron Man, Mystique, Bruce, or Adam Warlock out. They get Ironheart. I've never seen Mirage in a bot deck. if we're playing off tempo, I can still do Wong, Black Panther, Arnim, but we've got potential cards to add. Because I'm thinking we can do... I'll work the next turn out when I get there, but I feel like we've got an interesting final turn ahead if they don't retreat.
Wakanda forever.
Yeah, the bot doesn't snap back. I'm not surprised there. Oh, they have. Wow, okay. If this is the bot and there's a Shang-Chi, I'm going to cry. Alright, 1, 2, 3. YOLO.
Power must be controlled.
I've never seen Agony in a bot deck, so I don't think this is a bot.
All hail Hydra! Hail Hydra!
I am Iron Man. I am Iron Man.
We win. That is such a weird game, right? Because everything about that to me screams it isn't a bot. Because I mean that just felt like a card that I don't even know how to word this. This is absolutely mental. Right. Agony Series 4. I've never seen Agony in a bot deck. I've not seen Mirage in a bot deck. But then you've got things like Thor, Shang-Chi, Blue Marvel. They are kind of bot cards. Medusa's a bot card. I genuinely don't know what to make of that. That is such a weird game. Alright, next one. Spano Figay. Alright, turn 2 Bruce Banner's okay. Like I say, I prefer to float, but if we stay on tempo, I don't mind it. Seven games in at the moment. I'd say could definitely do with getting a few more wins. You can tell you're up against a real player when the turn 1 takes a while. I saw her in the shop before I started recording this. I'm recording this Thursday evening, and they've just put in the animated emotes. And I'll be honest, right? When I heard about them, I was thinking, oh, they look cool. You know, I saw the Agatha, was it, or Death with the clock, and then there was the goose one, and I thought, oh, they look cool. And then I saw them in the shop at, I think it was $69.99 and $39.99, and I'm thinking, nah, I'm all right. I mean, I get second dinner. You got to monetize. I'm not knocking you for that. Games do what they gotta do, right? But me personally, nah. Alright, this has got to be a retreat, surely. Like, yeah. We're doing 11 games. I've just talked about emotes instead of playing Marvel Snap. Alright, no turn 1 play, even with 2 energies, so let's skip to turn 2. Okay, we're playing against a bot deck apparently again, but I mean, I feel like I'm repeating myself. I have not seen X-23, a Series 4 card, in a bot deck. Wolverine. I'm not tempoing out Mystique, so turn 4.
Enough said, bub.
We will do Mr. Negative. I mean, this does have bot vibes just for the simple fact that they're playing very quickly. No, I'm not liking this. Alright, definitely a bot there. If there was any doubt, that eradicated the doubt. I shouldn't snap because it's a bot. Sorry, I shouldn't snap because they're in a winning condition, but equally I'm thinking, is it going to play left and I just get a cheap win with that? No, I don't. Losing 8 cubes to a bot. Gloomy Otter, I'm feeling gloomy. Genuinely, that last game, it was a type of game where you know you should retreat, but because it's a bot, you think, bots usually lose you the game. Well, lose the game for you so you win. So I couldn't help but one stick in. It does feel like you're scammed when it happens, because you're thinking, I can't believe it, the bot just scammed me. Alright, well, Wong over here. Up against Vault Boy, by the way. I do like a bit of Fallout. Oh. Okay. I think I'm getting a bit of comeuppance for last week.
Wakanda forever.
Okay, that let themselves down. 8 powered there, so they couldn't win on that alone. Okay, it's a win. It's not a cube win, but it's a win. For the record, they were greedy to try and go for a Hobgoblin in a lockdown lane. Okay, final game. Onslaught Citadel. I feel like that is a good location for this deck. We've got 2-3 ongoings that are pretty decent. Okay, I do like Superflow. I would play Psylocke, but I don't feel we need Psylocke right now, so we'll just play Bruce and hope he floats. Well, hope the float hulks him out. Alright, you do you, little booby. Ebony Maw. Carnage. Okay, we did Hulk out. That's good. I'm wondering if this is Death Fracture Frontier. Assuming it's not a bot. Nothing there indicates it's a bot. You know what? Let's just do that. Actually, no. Do that. That's fine, I was wanting Magik down anyway. Okay, we draw a Mystique. We get Wongers. I'm actually happy enough to stay on curve in terms of turn 4 forecast, so we'll play like that. Wolverine and Deathlock. I am wondering if it's Fracture Frontier Death, because I could buy what they're trying to do. Okay, now, Mr. Negative's come out later if you're asking me. So I think we go... You see, this is where I'm... The trouble is, though, I would like to be able to draw those two cards with negative on, so I think I've got to go off tempo. Okay, death. We've still got 2 draws, so that isn't the worst thing. Actually, yeah, we're fine because we draw Knull next and that'll be a 0-6, so we are okay.
Wakanda forever.
Weapon X, Venom. Definitely not a bot. A bot wouldn't have Weapon X. You know what? With priority in their favour, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, we're alright. I thought if there was Shang-Chi, I'd regret doing Arnim, so I thought let's just split the power. Yeah, that was decent.
Victory.
So, as you can see, very similar stats to what I showed at the start. 11 games played, 54.5% win rate, cubes per game of minus 0.27, and yeah, 6 wins, 5 losses. So I do feel like this is kind of what we said at the start, really. It's probably not the perfect negative deck by any stretch. If anything, you do need Ravonna, really. But I think you can make things work with this. I think we came into a few games where there were just some really hard counters, like Shang-Chi coming out of nowhere. A few where we just had bad draw, which no matter if you got Ravonna, if you had bad draw, negative just struggles. But yeah, I think there were a few mitigating factors in the losses. Also adding the fact we lost 8 cubes to a bot. I absolutely felt scammed by that, because don't get me wrong, on paper I didn't deserve to win that game. You know, just playing the Knull down as I did and thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to win 8 cubes. But again, the fact it was a bot made me think it was possible they'd just throw it. So that's why the scam feeling came in. But yeah, just thinking about the games aside from that, you know, I don't think we did terrible. You know, it's how negative is. You're gonna have highs, you're gonna have lows, and yeah, I feel like this fits the category of last week as well. Just something a little bit fun. I think at times you do need that in Marvel Snap. Now, just sticking on that little motif for a minute, let's drag this over here. I want to just bring up that we've got login rewards at the moment. Now, I don't know if I can bring that on screen. I probably can't. No, I can't. But we are due to be getting Loki in the next 24 hours, I think it might be. Actually, yeah, here we go. Seal rewards. Just popped up as I was talking about it. So yeah, we're due to get Loki in the next 24 hours. And if it wasn't for the fact that I want to have this video for you at the same time as I do every week, I would have actually done a Loki video this time, because doing a Loki video without Arisham could be a bit of fun. I think Arisham makes Loki very potent in the sense that you're essentially saying with Arisham, right, you've got all these cards, but instead I'm going to give you an extra energy after from turn 3 onwards. Whereas if you just play Loki without Arisham, you really have to be smart about what your opponent's playing. So I'm going to have a little mull over what I'm going to do with Loki, but that is definitely the video next week. I might even try and include some of these cards that we've been unlocking, because I feel like in recent sessions I have been doing the pack openings, and there have just been these odd cards where I'm like, I don't really know what I'm going to do with that. I mean, Makari, I'm not just going to throw that in Arisham, even though I've just said that. I feel like that'd be a weird one to include, but something like Caliban, that might be alright. Esme's not the worst either, that could be quite interesting. What else we got? Maybe Hydra Man, maybe. I'm not crying out for that, but it could be an option. Scar could be. Doc Ock Fracture Frontier. You know, there are options. Mr. Fantastic First Steps. So I'm actually quite interested to give some of these a go in a Loki shell. Just see if we can put a few cards in that haven't been explored so far. So yeah, if that interests you, let me know. But like I say, I'd want to do negative for weeks now. Ever since I got the card in the Series 3 packs, it's a Marvel Snap staple. I feel like for the longest time people would say, if you want to get to Infinite, use Mr. Negative. And it's only really changed since Mystique went from a 3-0 to a 3-1 because it threw off a few of the synergies. But you can still climb with it. It's still a decent deck, it's just lost that edge that it once had. But yeah, I figure, you know what? For the record, I've never climbed to Infinite with it, so I was hoping I could actually go on a little run with it today, but no, we didn't have that luck. But yeah, it'd be nice to see Negative just get a little bit of love again, because I respect that maybe at one point it was a bit overplayed in terms of infinite climbing, but considering infinite climbing can sometimes be a bit drab, it would be nice if they maybe loosen that gauge a little bit. But that's just me. Alright, so thank you very much for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, as always, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Every sub is always appreciated. I haven't set a goal yet for the next milestone, but it does seem to be 200. 200 would be the next logical one anyway, so yeah, let's go for 200. I'll make a bigger point of that in future videos. But until next time, folks, have a good rest of your day. Goodbye for now.